with Cobblestone Estates. So we wanted to talk a little bit about the economic benefits of real estate. One of them being that if you are using a mortgage to buy a property, if you buy it as a primary residence, then you can get it for a much lower down payment. So if you're planning on buying something and renovating it, then the lower down payment gives you a lot more money in your pocket to do the renovations. So that's a big benefit. If if you're doing a commercial purchase, the down payment's typically much higher, like up to 40%, right?
Yeah, 40% or so.
So with primary residence, it can be as low as 15%. So that's a really nice thing. And if you are also if you're crazy enough to want to move your family from place to place, if you are buying a primary residence and you live in it for 2 out of the last 5 years, when you sell your property, you don't pay any tax on the profit that you're making when you sell the property up to $500,000. So those are 2 really huge benefits of real estate. And Alex, you wanted to talk about some other little details that seem small but can be really, really big.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should do it. Buy a house, do some work, find a place that needs a little bit of work, live in it for 2 years, sell it, and do it again. If you're not interested in investing, you're not interested in real estate at all, you're investing probably in the stock market. This is a great option in any environment where you're going to have great growth year over year. It's just a wonderful thing to be able to do. We've done it ourselves. I highly recommend it.
Brooklyn real estate, the value that you're getting is, goes up so much per year that if you're living in something for a year or 2 years or longer, the value that you get is just, crazy. But if you live in another place where values aren't going up that high, you're gonna have to live in the place much longer. But here in Brooklyn, that's something to think about.
Yeah, I think you should absolutely do it. Whoever's watching, just do it. It's a really great option. For us, after we did our one project, we jumped into another new building project where we're demoing an entire building and building it from scratch up for some condo units. That is in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, which is like a hip, chic neighborhood. If you're not, local to this area and knowledgeable about this space, no big deal. So what ended up happening with that one is we bought it through a primary residence for the same reason as Lisa had said, because we want to keep our down payment as low so that we have all this capital available to be able to do this massive construction project. Even though eventually the note will be transferred to Cobblestone Estates, and yes, the bank could call the note if we do that. It never happens. Do your own due diligence, make your own decisions with your attorney. But what ended up happening for us is that our attorney reviewed the documents once we were in contract, but between close, and noticed that the seller's title fees and closing fees were almost identical to the amount of money that we had left to pay at the closing table. So he just wrote in the contract that we would take that payment upon ourselves and deduct it from the primary residence amount that we would pay towards the remaining amount of the down payment. So what that means is that our corporation was able to pay the title fees and the closing fees, and then those few $1,000s that were remaining on the down payment was written from our personal checking account. It doesn't seem like a big thing, but it'll save us a lot of money in taxes in the future. Taxes are always going to be your #1 expense, so any way that you can save a little bit on your margins in the long run is a wonderful thing that you could do. Again, do your own due diligence. We are not attorneys, but our attorney totally advised us to go ahead and move forward with that so that it could help us in about 2 years when we can sell some units.